All right, good morning, boys. Good morning. Just to share with you, first of all, welcome back. I hope that everybody had a beautiful Yom Tov, an enjoyable Yom Tov, and it's great. I'm sorry that we're not starting out the new Zman in our next home, so we have a little bit of an intermediate home. But just for today, by Monday morning, we'll be up and running, God willing. So again, I hope, welcome back, and hopefully everybody's back, refreshed, and ready in Hashem to maximize till the end of the year. So just to share with you a short idea. So Parshas Acharei. Anyone know when we read Parshas Acharei? When during the year? Any Balei Kriya? When during the year do we read Parshas Acharei? Hey, Chavra, come a little closer so I don't have to yell as much, right? So when do we read Parshas Acharei? Anyone know?
First week after Pesach.
I'm sorry?
First week after Pesach.
Excellent answer. At least for this year, that is correct. So Parshas Acharei, actually, the entire beginning of the parsha is all about the avodah of Yom Kippur. So the truth is, we read Parshas Acharei by Yom Kippur, and there's an incredible pasuk in it. So remember, who does the avodah on Yom Kippur? Kohen Gadol. Excellent. Where is the avodah of Yom Kippur done? Where is it done? Beis HaMikdash. Where specifically in the Beis HaMikdash? Kodesh HaKadoshim. Excellent. So, right, what's unique, and by the way, how many times a year does the Kohen Gadol go into the Kodesh HaKadoshim?
Twice.
Why do you say four? You say four. So the truth is, it's once over the course of it's once a year on Yom Kippur, but on Yom Kippur itself, it's a couple of different times. By the way, just an interesting trivia piece. Well, not trivia, nothing's trivial. But when else could there be a situation where someone would... I'm going to move closer to you guys. Sorry, it's fine. So where else could you ever have a situation where someone's going to the Kodesh HaKadoshim? Excellent. So remember, again, there's a whole discussion, by the way. I learned... I get to give Daf Yomi every morning, and then every once in a while I come across something that I knew that I learned beforehand, but I had no idea that I remembered it. When they would build the Beis HaMikdash, they would only consecrate the stones and the building areas after everything was set in place. The reason for that, not getting too technical over here, is they wanted to avoid Me'ilah. So when they were building the Beis HaMikdash as well, people were inside what would become the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and even after the Beis HaMikdash was built, there would be repairs that had to get done. So you would have people going into the Holy of Holies. Good. But really, once it's built and once it's consecrated, once a year, Kohen Gadol. What does the Kohen Gadol do in the Kodesh HaKadoshim when he's there in Yom Kippur? Anyone know? I'm sorry? Excellent. Ketoras. What's ketoras? Spices or incense, right? Remember again, this is actually incredible. Again, not even a topic for this morning, but it's incredible. What would the Kohen Gadol carry in to the Kodesh HaKadoshim? Anyone know? What? I'm sorry? A pan. Pan of what? Coals. Excellent. So one pan coals, and in the one pan of coal, I call it a fire pan, a machta, and then in the other hand, what would he hold? But excellent, good. Good, brings the blood, separate time. So one time he's holding a cup. The truth is the blood itself was applied right outside of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. It was sprinkled onto the curtain. You guys know that part in Musaf, achas v'achas, achas u'shtayim. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. I know it's hard. It's already a little bit far advanced in Chazar Sashatz of Musaf. Right? But that's the sprinkling on the curtains, once above, once below. So blood comes up to the curtain, but not inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim. So when he comes in, only thing brought into the Kodesh HaKadoshim is Ketoras. So on one hand, he's holding the machta, the fire pan with the coals. What's in the other hand? What's in the other? What do you think? A shovel. Well, close. Actually, it's called the kaf, a ladle. What's inside of the ladle? Incense. Excellent. Remember, again, he's burning incense. So actually, if you could imagine, one of the things the Kohen Gadol had to practice a lot, because remember again, the Kohen Gadol was taken out of his home. Again, when was the Kohen Gadol brought to the Beis HaMikdash? In preparation for... Good. You guys learning Yuma, no? That's what you're learning? No? Everybody was learning Yuma? Good. So how do you know this, right? Isn't this the first Mishnah in Yuma? Good. Excellent. First Mishnah in Yuma. So when is the Kohen Gadol taken out of his home? Anyone know? After what? After Rosh Hashanah. And he prepares. There's a lot of stuff the Kohen Gadol has to do over the course. So one of the most acrobatic things he has to do is he has to bring in that fire pan, right, on one hand, and I'm not good because I'm a lefty, so I would be invalid for the kahuna, unfortunately. But right, and he's bringing the ladle with the ketoras on the other hand. And remember, there's an incredible chab. So obviously you're holding these two things, right? Now, what do you have to do? You're going out there, you walk in, you have one pan with the coals, one pan with the ketoras. What do you have to do? Hyper-focus on both. Good. What's the avoda? What do you have to do? I'm sorry? Sprinkle the blood. Good. So that's already, remember, that's outside. That's outside. He's not bringing them in. So into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, he's bringing in again the coals and the ketores. What does he have to do now? I'm the Kohen Gadol. I'm standing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. What am I doing?
Pour the coals and the spice.
Good. What am I pouring? What onto what?
The spice onto the coals.
Excellent. So I'm taking the ladle, and I'm going ahead and pouring it onto the coals. Chevra, how do you do that? And again, if you were walking in, how would you do that? Now, can you just go? Remember, these are long items. So you're holding them. They're not light because remember, again, these are made out of gold. So he's holding two things. So the truth is, if it was me, I would put down the coals. Right? Go ahead, take the ladle, but the problem is you're not allowed to do that. So the Kohen Gadol actually has it's a real avoda of going ahead and making sure that you're able to spill the ketores onto the macht, onto the coals. Now, by the way, you also have to make sure that what can't you spill? Right? You can't spill any coals, and you can't spill any of the ketores. So it takes an incredible amount of skill to be able to do this. Really an incredible amount of skill.
Was he able to practice not on Yom Kippur?
So yes, he practiced. Remember again, the whole chaf was, yes.
What happens if he spills coals?
I mean, I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. Right? I don't think I don't know. What's the halacha? Does Kohen Gadol have to redo it if he spills something? If he spills everything, he has to redo it.
I think some of the coals were allowed to be spilled. They put more coals than was able to hold.
In the Kodesh HaKadoshim?
I'm saying the actual amount that they poured on top,
Yeah.
I think was enough
that it could spill over a little bit.
On top. I guess once you went in, it could be.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Obviously, if he drops the ladle and the whole thing spills, then you have to do it again. But I don't think spilling something invalidates the. I don't know. All right, so
They had the Pesach covered over these coals
that spilled over. Okay, so must be. So listen to this. So now Kohen Gadol does the whole avodah beautiful. There's a pasuk with this pasuk that I just want to show you that I think is incredible. So listen to this. Beginning of the parsha. Vayomer Shal Moshe. I'll just tell you. Parsha Acharei has a very special place in my heart. I grew up in a very small town in New Jersey, and as the community was growing, so Yomim Noraim, we had a very small shul. They had to daven at two different locations. So my family davened at the remote location. That's because we lived closer to that. That's what they asked us. So one year, 5 days before Yom, right after Rosh Hashanah, the Balkorei, who was supposed to lean for Yom Kippur, went ahead and got sick, and he wasn't able to lean. So I remember that the Rav of the shul asked me, could I learn the Kriya for Yom Kippur? I was maybe 15 years old. So it was a very small community, so not like a lot of people who could do it. So of course my first reaction was, I'm a teenager, my first reaction is, no, right? Like most things that teenagers are asked to do that they don't have to do, right? No, I'm not. They said, no, we really, so it's incredible. So my pediatrician, who was the other Balkori in the main shul, he recorded Acharei Mos for me. He recorded it. I learned it off a tape. So I could learn Acharei Mos very well. It's Yom Kippur Trup, so it's different Trups. I always feel a special connection to this parsha. In any event, so the pasuk is like this. Very quickly, then we'll conclude. So the pasuk says, "Vayomer Shema Moshe, daber al Aaron achicha, va'al yavo b'chol eis el hakodesh." So Hashem says to Moshe, tell Aaron, how would you translate that phrase? Va'al yavo b'chol eis el hakodesh. How would you translate it? Va'al yavo b'chol eis el hakodesh. Al yavo. Do not come. B'chol eis. Anytime. Ala kodesh. Good. Which kodesh? What are we talking about? Kodesh kadashim. Al yavo b'chol eis ala kodesh. It's a pretty straightforward pasuk. You can't walk into the kodesh hakadashim whenever you want. The Baal Shem Tov says something so incredibly beautiful over here. He says Al yavo b'chol eis ala kodesh is not simply an instruction for Aaron, but rather again it's a phrase that helps us to feel better about our failures. What does this mean? See, guys, so often in life, we think, what's our goal? Our goal is I want to always be inspired. And I want to always be tuned in. And I always want to be excited about Yiddishkeit, about Torah, about davening. Chava, let me ask you, is there anyone here who is always excited about their Yiddishkeit? Okay, right? I'm not raising my hand either about that, right? Anyone here is always excited about davening, always excited about learning, always excited about having to help, always excited about chesed? No, because the nature of people is that there are peaks and valleys. There are ups and there are downs. There are times when I'm in tune and times when I'm not. Times when I'm inspired and times when I'm not. And Baal Shem says that's the pshat in the pasuk. Va'al yavo b'chol eis ala kodesh. No one spends their whole life in the holy of holies. You know, Rabbi Nachman writes something so beautiful. Rabbi Nachman writes that there were Yomim Noram, there are Rosh Hashanah's Yom Kippurs. Rabbi Nachman said he davened and he didn't feel a thing. Didn't feel a thing. Now, I don't know about you, I've had Yomim Noram like that where I've davened and I've been unmoved. There was no point where there was ever like a spark. And the truth is, when that happens to you, you just feel like a profound failure. Right? You just feel like, I can't believe this. Like, what's wrong with me? And comes on Baal Shem and says, there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes people are up, sometimes people are down. And for whatever the reason, in different times in life, we have different experiences. Va'al yavo b'chal eis ela kodesh. No one spends their whole life in the Holy of Holies. Not even the Kohen Gadol. There are times that you're up, times that you're down, times that you're inspired, times that you're uninspired. But what's the chap? In those moments when you're not in the Kodesh, and in those moments where you're not inspired, what's your job? What's your job? To get back into the Kodesh. See, the difference is that sometimes in life, when we're not in the Kodesh, we kind of just get comfortable living outside of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. That's not our avodah. I accept the fact that I'm not always going to be inspired. But in those moments when I'm outside of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, it is my job to try to figure out what I need to do to get back in. All right, guys, I wish you a good Erev Shabbos, a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh. Enjoy the shortened day today, and much hatzlacha. Shabbos. Beautiful, Baruch Hashem. How was yours? Yeah? Oh, yeah? Nothing was mentioned.